All right, guys, welcome to the SLC Dunk Post Game Show. This is Hanson James, and the Jazz lose in kind of a lopsided loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They kind of came back a little bit, but that might have been a little bit of both teams kind of hoping the game was over. This Jazz team is really going to struggle because honestly, it's missing its two best players. One of them went to Boston, and one of them is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. The Jazz are just in a tough spot, guys. You might as well start getting ready for a lot of losses. And honestly, that might be what we talk about tonight because I feel like there's a lot of consternation with Jazz fans, and there shouldn't be. Guys, when Gordon Hayward left, we knew this season was going to be tough. And our best option was that the team would come back and we'd play this incredible defense and find a way to have an efficient offense that found ways to manufacture points without kind of a dominant offensive player. And I don't know if Gordon Hayward was dominant, but he was definitely a great offensive player. And we miss that. Like, it's okay to admit it. Hayward really does suck, but there's nothing we could do. He's gone, and it's, it's whatever. There's nothing you can do. Rudy Gobert being out of the game, I think tonight we really saw how important Rudy Gobert is to this team and how much of a star he is, because without Rudy Gobert, the Jazz have very little identity. We don't have that cornerstone on defense, that anchor that helps everything else work out better. And on offense, when Rudy Gobert rolls to the rim and creates spacing, it creates spacing for everyone else, and that's just how the offense has been able to run a little bit this season. We've had troubles on offense this year because of the having two centers on the floor at the same time, and Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert. And we saw against Brooklyn that the offense was a little bit better because they were able to move and flow and things like that. But against the Timberwolves, who are a high-level team, the Timberwolves actually don't have a very good defense this year. I think you would think they would get better. They have Tibbs and Jimmy Butler and length and size. So I would think that they would eventually get better. But even still, it's going to be hard for the Jazz to find ways to score. They had the Ricky Rubio, Derek Favors thing going, which was okay, but the Jazz are just outmatched right now. Without Rudy Gobert, he really is the star of this team. Without him, we just don't have an identity. It's just hard for them to win, guys. There's not a lot of analysis to this. It's hard to win when you don't have your best player on the floor. And on top of Rudy Gobert being out, we miss Joe Johnson and we miss Dante Exum. Guys, Dante Exum would have been really good for us this year, and in all honesty, probably a lot better than what we are starting with right now. I love Ricky Rubio. I love his passion. I love his defense. I love his intensity, and I love his attitude. All fantastic. Absolutely great. The one thing is that he just cannot shoot, and we're going to be talking about this a lot, I guess, but it makes it easier for other teams to guard. That's why the Minnesota Timberwolves, who don't have a great defense this year, they looked like a great defensive team, and part of that is because it's just not very hard to guard the Jazz, So really what this season needs to be about for Jazz fans is, one, get excited about Donovan Mitchell because he is legit. He is fantastic. He has every sign points to Donovan Mitchell being just a fantastic player on this team. All-star potential, just great. And it's going to be fun. And this season is just, we get to watch him play. If Donovan Mitchell was on the team last year when we're playing with the playoffs and you have George Hill and grumpy Gordon Hayward and all these spots being just fought over by veteran players, we probably wouldn't have been able to see a lot of Donovan Mitchell because he would have been kind of relegated to the bench like Dante Exum with every little mistake. This year, he's making a lot of mistakes, but he's getting to work through them, and we're seeing him have big-time nights. Like tonight, it's his 5th 20-plus point game. That's awesome. This is awesome, and this year is a transition year. Guys, if the Jazz were looking to tank for a long time, they would be trading Rudy Gobert tomorrow and get some picks, get a pick so that they could get 2 picks in the first, in the top 10. They aren't trading Rudy Gobert. The Jazz are probably doing 1 year transition where we're just not going to be very good this year. We can go to the draft and we can hopefully win that and get a nice player that we can pair with Donovan and then get new free agents because the Jazz are going to have cap space and we retool and go and the Jazz will be better. There's no reason to be against that, by the way. That's what we need to talk about a little bit tonight too. It is okay if the Jazz tank. It is okay. You don't need to be angry about it. You don't need to call it immoral or any of these weird things that people say about tanking. Tanking's okay. It's okay. It's the best way the Jazz are going to get talent, guys. There's just no other way. I mean, Gordon Hayward, if we didn't draft Gordon Hayward, do you think Gordon Hayward was coming to Utah in free agency? He wasn't. It wasn't going to happen. And I guess people can say, well, we got Joe Johnson, but Joe Johnson was in his 15th year and had shown signs that wear and tear was taking over. And the Jazz took a flyer on him, saw that he could be really good as playing the power forward, and he's done great at it, you know? But the Jazz are not getting any superstar free agent in their prime. That's just not happening. I mean, maybe some miracle happens down the road, but Kevin Durant was not giving visits to Utah, you know? It's just the fact of the matter. And so for the Jazz, when they lose a free agent like Gordon Hayward, it is okay to let your team do the best route to getting victories. Like everyone who knows and loves John Stockton and Karl Malone needs to remember the Jazz drafted John Stockton and Karl Malone. If we did not draft those players, they were not coming here. It's just the way it is. If we did not draft Darren Williams, he was not coming here. If we did not draft Gordon Hayward, he was not coming here. So that's just the way it is. And if we can draft these players and treat them like kings, like like Dennis Lindsay and Jazz management have done, building an incredible facility, building incredible, practice facility, upgrading the arena, giving the players the best coaching staff they can possibly get with the best management group out there. That's all you could do. And so it's okay. Joe Rossi, time to tank. You betcha, Joe Rossi. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm all about. It's time to tank. It's time to tank. It's time to get a tank commander hat and get ready for it. Let's go get Marvin Bagley. Yes, I would love Marvin Bagley. Could you imagine Marvin Bagley next to Rudy Gobert? How cool would that be? To have a superstar 4 that can dunk and pass and all these things and shoot and just dominate other teams. I want to dominate other teams. That's why I'm okay to tank for a year and get Marvin Bagley, because that would be freaking great. The only Joe Rossi, the only way we get good free agents is by overpaying. Yeah, and even by overpaying, we can't always get them, Joe. For example, with Gordon Hayward, we could have paid him more than the Boston Celtics, and he still left. It's tough. Gordon wanted to leave, and that's his choice, whatever. Screw him, but that's his choice. Whatever. If the Jazz want to get a good player like a Marvin Bagley, Luka Doncic, or I think Michael Porter, or one of these players in the top 5, you got to find a way to get him, and the way you get him is in the draft. And if that means like when Rudy gets his knee hurt, you let him rest extra long so you can, then you do that, and maybe you go under the table and say, hey, Rudy, here's your $500K that you're missing out on incentives. We get it. Just take a rest. So guys, it's okay if we lose some games. Don't kill yourselves because the Jazz lose by 20 to the Minnesota Timberwolves, or tomorrow, or it's not tomorrow, I don't think, but we play the Knicks and are probably going to lose against the Knicks because Porzingis is incredible right now, who is a player we probably should have traded up for, but, what can you do? I think the Jazz actually did try and it didn't happen, but, what we need to do as Jazz fans, enjoy Donovan Mitchell. Watch his growth. It's fun. He's getting better every single game. His shot is just going to get more accurate and more, he's going to make smarter plays. He's going to get more assists. He's going to learn the offense even better. He's going to be incredible. And because we're a team right now that isn't really going to go far in the playoffs, it's okay. And it allows him to get better, which is fun, and come All-Star break or post All-Star break, when Dante Exum gets back, how fun will that be to be able to watch Dante and Donovan play? That'll be cool. What the best route for the Jazz and our best chance to be really good in relatively short term is to re-sign Dante Exum, and we hope to heck that he becomes what we hope he does. And 2, allowing Donovan Mitchell to just develop so that next year he's got a lot of experience under his belt and become a better player. Rudy Gobert is healthy and can play, and then we combine those 3 players with a top 5 draft pick. that is our best chance. You know? That's our best shot. And if we can do those three things and if we can get those 4 players on the team and they all turn out to be as good as we hope, we become really good. Does it suck that we lose a lot of games this year? Yes. Would I like to win the championship every single year? Yes. That would be fantastic. That's not always realistic in our market, and that's not realistic for most teams out there. Most teams don't win the finals, guys. If you're not the Lakers, the Heat, the Spurs, or the Warriors, who else is winning the title? So the best chance we have is to do that, find the best chemistry we can, hope for a lot of good luck. Like, let's say we just signed Dante, kind of like the Warriors signed Steph Curry, and all of a sudden he becomes way better than we expected, kind of like what happened with Steph Curry, and things work out. And if they don't, we'll still be good because we have a great manager, we have a great coach, we have a great organization that wants to win. They win practically. They don't, the Jazz are practical, which keeps the Jazz in Utah, which is also good. So everything is great with the Jazz. We just don't have the talent right now because 2 of our best offensive players left. That's just the facts. And it's okay. So guys, get your Tank Commander hats on, get your Tank shirts, get ready to lose some games and be excited. Watch Donovan Mitchell score buckets and get in that Rookie of the Year race because it's fun. And let's go. I'm excited for it. Let's go. Minnesota Timberwolves, you're a fun team. I didn't say a lot about you tonight because it needed to be talked about with the tank. It just has to be talked about. It has to be accepted. It's okay. Don't freak out about it, guys. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here for you. Hugs. 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 All right. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Go to SLC Dunk. Read every single article. Click on every single thing you're interested in because we appreciate it and we love you and you're awesome. And the Jazz are awesome. And tanking is okay. All right, I'll talk to you later.